Look at TRVL. No, I mean, look what TRVL is doing. We've had a kind of a little bullish impulsive week, and yeah, a little bit of consolidation here, a little bit of buying and selling, kind of a little bit of a range bound behavior, consolidation after you have a bit of an impulse. It's almost like you've got, it does look like an impulse, A, B, C, impulse. What is this? Is that an impulse, or is this just the whole thing of some kind of correction before we have another impulse? It's hard to tell. We are in bullish daily market structure, as I already said. So I was thinking about this idea, this daily bullish market structure. So a lot of people might be expecting this daily low to hold. It doesn't have to hold. Yeah, we've got a higher high here, we've got a higher high here, this is a higher low. So we are in bullish market structure. If for some reason the price was to go down, take out this low, that would be a lower low. Okay, that would be the first step to changing from bullish to bearish. But if that was to happen, then you'd have to to continue with bearish, you'd have to have a lower high and another lower low. That would be another change back into bearish. That would be quite bearish if you put in a lower low, lower high, and another lower low, took out the previous low. So that's what you're expecting. That's what you're looking for a change from bullish to bearish. At the moment, it's bullish. It's bullish because we've put in a higher high and we've put in a higher low. Okay, and we've had confirmation of the change. So we're in a bullish market structure right now. And right now, all I'm seeing is a little bit of consolidation, a little buying and selling, a little bit of kind of range bound behavior. Nothing very interesting, bit of consolidation. You can see these green candles with these wicks, people are market buying, but taking the liquidity, getting a position. You can see these nice green candles, volume candles. You can see that these are quite bullish signs. And lots of buying, market buying. So people are just positioning back in, they're just market buying back in. We kind of saw that here, didn't we? This was back last year in December. Lots of wicks and people market buying. Kind of seeing the same behavior now. We were getting that on the way down. You see these wicks, green wicks. Now we're getting it on the way up. So you can see that there are people repositioning back in. They're buying at market. Maybe they're out of position. They're waiting for a change. So this is the change. We've had the change. And so naturally people are buying back in. I think if you're bullish on TRVL, you should be, because we've had a market change on the daily time frame to bullish. A lot of tokens haven't had that. So I've been looking at all these different tokens. Like I looked at Slurf. I explained that Slurf is actually still bearish. We haven't even put in a higher high on Slurf. ENA, I've looked at that and I've said, hey, we've put in a higher high, but we haven't had the confirmation yet. And so some tokens, they're still good tokens, but they haven't had a confirmation. And TRVL has had a confirmation of market structure change. So I think it's amazing. TRVL is actually ahead compared to a lot of other tokens in terms of what is required to go up. And I think if people are bullish, put limit orders and hold the price. It's better than market buying. It'd be better to just put limit orders. Yeah. Good afternoon, altcoin dreaming. Nice to have you back. Yesterday my stream disconnected, so I redid Voight at the beginning of the stream. What I've actually done is I've connected with a wire. I think my Wi-Fi had issues and that's why I lost connection. So I've put it in a wire now. So hopefully that's not going to happen again. So I would suggest for people looking to position, I mean, it's very difficult to position into a low liquidity token where there's not much volume, not many people are selling. And so people get really impatient and they start market buying because they want a position, they want a big position. Yeah. So that's what this is. That's what these candles are. Look, this candle here, the volume on that candle is 288,000, 381,000, 288,000. It's just impatience, really. You're getting a fill up to 10 to 15% higher. It's unnecessary to do that. It's not necessary to do that. This red candle before it was a better way of filling, because someone placed a limit order. They got filled with 352,000 TRVL at roughly the same price at 0.33. Someone else filled here, and they filled a smaller position, and they had slippage of 18%, 18.5%. It's really the wrong way to buy when there's no need. Like, there's no FOMO now. No one needs to FOMO into TRVL right now. We're not at FOMO stage. You can nicely, gladly, easily just put limit orders and absorb the price. We're in bullish market structure. Yeah. So you can put your orders all the way down to this daily level here. Limit orders and absorb the selling. And then when the market does move, people start to FOMO in, or hopefully it will go up. So that's kind of what I would recommend. So the question from Altcoin Dreaming is, what's with the crazy volume increase on the TRVL Bybit chart? Well, it's the bull market, right? It's the bull market. I can't explain it myself. Last year, KuCoin was leading the volume. Yeah. Here last year, you see that? January, the beginning of this year, actually, not last year, the beginning of this year. Look at KuCoin. KuCoin had 77 million market buy in that 1 week period. I think there are a few more green candles, but then there's quite a lot of selling here. See, a lot of selling. There was some, if you look at the other exchanges, what happened was that on Gate, before the bull market, in the previous market, you see that big, there was some big green volume here. It's like 326 million, 153 million. This was way back in April 22. I think what's happened is that there's been volume in the previous market on Gate, and those tokens have been transferred to other exchanges for reasons that I can't explain. And that's where the volume has come from. So it's come from Gate, but it's been moved because MEX is just zero. This is low. All of MEX is low volume. And so really, there was some volume on KuCoin. That was a big buy. So there was some buys here as well. 72 million, not much compared to Gate. Another 77 million. And I think what's happened is that all of that Gate volume has come back onto Bybit for reasons I can't explain. Maybe because Bybit is better, which it is, and not in the EU. It's Bybit is in the UAE, and Gate is in Malta, I think it is, and it's in Europe anyway. And we've got a lot of selling. So I think all of this red volume has come from Gate, because otherwise, where's the volume coming from? Where are all these tokens coming from? And obviously what's happened is that someone has been selling at a loss. That's what it looks like to me, because where are all these tokens coming from? And maybe some people sold who have in this rise, and now we're getting a little bit of accumulation. So you can see this nice big green candle that's 47 million, and that's a 26.7 million. This is a red candle, it's 41 million. So there's a lot of accumulation here. 44 million, 43 million, 36 million. You've got a bit of accumulation here. Okay, that's kind of, yeah, it is bearish. So altcoin is saying it would be increasing with the move to the downside, which is bearish. It's absolute. This move was very bearish because of the increase in volume. Okay, but just you just have to look at the flip side. With all of this volume, we're still holding a higher low. So it just because people are selling, you also have people buying. And as long as we hold a higher low, I wouldn't say that's bearish, because the price is still holding higher prices. Yeah, so I think as long as we hold this all-time low, we're good, despite the bearish nature of this volume. Just because in a low liquid token, low liquid environment, the only way to buy large amounts is to put limit orders. And even though there's a large amount of selling, I think the selling is market selling, but I think it's people who bought in a previous market. I think what happened is that they saw that it peaked here, and then they saw that there was some kind of change, and then they started market selling. They started exiting position at a loss. But naturally, what you've got is people limit buying, and so they've put limit orders. They're absorbing the buying. So even though you got this kind of depressing downward pressure with increasing volume, we're holding higher prices. At the moment, we're holding higher prices. So I think it's the fact that we've had a market structure change on the daily time frame is also quite a significant change. And this is bullish, because you require market buying to create a market structure change. So naturally that requires the market to push the price higher, which is what's happening. So it isn't just limit orders. If it was just limit orders, you wouldn't get this market structure change. Yeah. If all of this volume here was just limit orders, this would just continue to be bearish, or it would be still consolidating down here. It would just be flat with high volume, but it'd be flat. This is actually market buying, so it's quite bullish. You've got people, the market is market buying. And what's interesting is that it's clearing a lot of the liquidity. If anyone here was buying all the way back into June, no one's underwater if they kind of entered here. They're kind of at break even. And actually, if you entered all the way back in February or January, here in this consolidation range, look, you're basically at the same positions. So I wouldn't say that's bearish. I would say that that's okay. The point of control has moved to the lows. So if I was to do a right up to the highs there, look, why is that going to the right? Let me get rid of these squiggles. This is the peak here, or somewhere in March. Look, you see the point of control was here. And we're at the historic point of control now. Look at that. See that? We're finding support on the historic point of control. This was up to March, where the price went up to there. So we've come all the way down. We lost the value area low, and we came back up, and we're above the point of control. But all of this extra volume in these lows has changed the value area. And if I update it, you'll see we actually have a little change now. Actually, I've got to update this. Look, so there's a little bit of a change here. The point of control is slightly higher at 2.25. Value area is all the way down here, right? So the fact that the point of control has moved, we're at the historic point of control of just above 0.3032, but actually the point of control is moving. Look at that increase in volume. Look at all that. Oops. So we've had I think that's quite bullish. Point of control has moved to the lows, and the price is back above the point of control. Still range bound, but I think with the price, and we've had the market structure change, I think this whole thing is looking quite bullish. I think a lot of people are looking at this and thinking triple bottom with a rounding bottom. It's quite bullish if this continues. We've got a descending neckline, so we're still making higher time frame, weekly time frame, lower highs. What we do need is for this pivot at 15 cents to be taken out to put in a new weekly higher high. If we do go up to 15 cents, I think you're going to get the market rally behind this token, because then it will look extremely bullish if we do manage to somehow get up there take that out, then you'll be looking for a weekly higher low, and then you'll be looking for another kind of push up, and that would be, the market would love that, wouldn't they? That's what I think. The only thing that the ideas are all technical, but when you want to look at the fundamentals of the project, if you go to the Telegram, and I keep a track of this, you can see all their updates. They have a weekly Friday update, and there's a lot of, like, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it now. I should maybe, but I'm not. They've got a lot of things happening, and what you're looking at is a real world application. So when you look at the fundamentals, I don't know if you've seen the site, but you can look at, you can go and do your own deep dive, do your own research. There's quite a lot of information, right? In a gist, it's an Airbnb, it's a peer-to-peer Airbnb in a gist. Yeah. So right now I can go on to their site and I can search for accommodation. So here I'm looking at London. And I could click on that property, and that will take me to the property itself. So this is a property that's hosted on Dtravel, but it belongs to this person, this owner. The owner owns this property. And so now I can check availability, whatever, enter the number of guests, reserve it, pay. Now she only accepts credit card or Klarna. Doesn't matter, because once you pay, that's a direct peer-to-peer transaction governed by their cancellation policy, and that reservation is entered and recorded on the blockchain using the base protocol. You can also pay in crypto. Not all properties accept it, and the good thing about paying by crypto is that for most people they won't even need a wallet, because Dtravel has wallet as a service. So if people want to book, so here, these are my properties. So I've got my own properties here. I've got 2 properties on this site, on Dtravel, and this is one of them, Direct Stay London. You can reserve my property. 1 guest, 3 guests. Let's have a look. 2 adults. Reserve. Now I used to have a MetaMask, and I've stopped using it now. Now I use the Dtravel wallet as a service. So Dtravel hosts it, and so whenever I get paid, it goes into the wallet. It goes to onto Dtravel's hosted wallet. See, crypto. So anyone can pay using their own wallet or connecting a MetaMask, or if you don't have a wallet, no, then obviously you have to get MetaMask. But for the hosts, don't need wallets. That's the point. So I don't actually have a wallet for Dtravel. It goes to an online wallet. So if you're paying with the credit card, what's the point of the token? So that's a good question. The token isn't meant to be a currency per se, even though it can act as a currency. It's meant to do other things or other functions to do with the ecosystem that's being built. Okay, so obviously it has value because you can use the currency to pay, but it's not really a cryptocurrency in that sense. It's a little bit more intricate. So Where is the link that I would think I need to show you? I need to find the white paper. So I go back to the Dtravel site and I go to the token, go to learn more. There should be a white paper here somewhere. I used to have it. Governance, where is it? Well, this gives you all the kind of things that they're trying to develop. So they create an ecosystem, but it'll be a lot easier for me to show you. I just need to find it. It's not here. Is it in documentation? What is that? Okay, here it is. It's a light paper. So here you've got, here, have a look there. Here you've got the TRVL token economics or tokenomics. And if you go to this model, is that it? Nope. One of these links. That's it. TRVL sustainable token model. What they're actually doing is they're building this. This is what's being built. And effectively it's to reward hosts, and it's rewarding travelers effectively, but it also has a application usage, and the application usage is this night protocol. So what Dtravel are trying to build is a new kind of on-chain protocol which solves some real world problems or historic problems of the short-term rental industry. So they have another image here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Is it there? Protocol design. It's quite technical. There it is. So it gives you an idea of the way it functions, and it tells you this is how it is historically, like now. It's to do with efficiency and speed, and it's to do with cost effectiveness. And so right now you've got different supplies, databases, and you've got a lot of different applications, and they have to create their own API for each one. Airbnb, VRBO, Booking, and they have to create an API for each one, and everyone has to create their own API for each one. And so you've got thousands and thousands of APIs all serving the same function. Yeah. And so effectively what Dtravel are trying to do, using the TRVL token as a utility gas token, to kind of put it all on chain. And so then these OTAs can share their data and get paid in TRVL, and then also people can pay in TRVL to access data. It would require the OTAs to come on board. So this is a vision of a grand future, and it's just a vision, isn't it? It's an idea of what they're trying to build, and then hopefully if and when Dtravel becomes big enough on its own right, on its own feet, then maybe then it's going to be a lot easier to kind of attract these bigger players, because these bigger players have the same problems. They have exactly the same problems. They have all of these different APIs trying to connect to their database, and their databases aren't compatible with these other databases. And then there's a cost burden and speed burden in accessing that data and sharing that data. That's what the blockchain as a tech solves. But this is a slow process to build first and then attract these bigger players. When it comes to the tokenomics, it's specifically to do with incentive and rewards. Yeah. So the idea of the TRVL, so even though TRVL acts as a utility for the night protocol, it also, if and when they develop and build this tokenomics model, here it is, it will reward people like me, hosts. It will reward users. And so right now, if you use Airbnb as a host, like I've been an Airbnb super host. It says 8 years here, but it's actually much longer. I've been an Airbnb super host for more than 8 years. And so a long way before when Airbnb was even rich and famous, like I've been using Airbnb and hosting on Airbnb pretty much from the beginning, pretty much. And even though I've done well as a business with my properties on Airbnb, I haven't seen the benefit of the business. Yeah, I haven't been rewarded. So the business has done really well, multi-billion dollar company, and the hosts haven't been equally rewarded. And so what Dtravel is trying to do is they're trying to incentivize the hosts to be, so as the network grows, the hosts benefit, and so will the travelers too. And that's where the value of the TRVL will go up. So actually the value of the network will translate into the value of the token. That's kind of what they're trying to build. That's what this is. That's the idea. And so naturally, as the network grows, you're going to see use case of TRVL to grow, and then the value of the TRVL will grow. And so it's a real world application. And so it's kind of, in the future, it could probably become disconnected from crypto in that sense, that it'll be largely dependent on what's happening in the real world. So the more properties that come on board, the more properties that are booked, and the more that people travel. And so if you go into the Telegram, I'll show you in the Telegram, every time there's a booking in the general chat, look at this, new booking process, and you can actually see the listing, new booking process. And so what we're slowly seeing is lots of new bookings being processed, lots of new booking sites being activated, and this is value. This is the growth of the network, which is actually going to translate into the token value. I don't know if I explained it well enough, but all of that information is on their website, and so that's why I'm quite interested in it. I'm interested in it because I'm an Airbnb superhost, and I've seen a benefit. I've seen this benefit my business. So I've had a lot of reservations through Dtravel, through my own site. Yeah. And so naturally now, if I have a returning guest, or if I have someone who I meet and they just want to book directly, I can do that. I can give them a link to my property on Dtravel. This is Dtravel. So this doesn't cost me anything. So it's kind of like a Shopify. It doesn't cost me anything. And now people can rent my apartment without going through Airbnb or booking.com. I pay Airbnb 15% plus tax. I pay booking.com probably about 20% or more plus tax. And what I do is I pass the savings on to my guests. So I can easily give people who come to me directly a discount, no skin off my nose. And most people prefer that, because most guests prefer that because they're paying less. And something about travelers is that they're quite savvy. So when I'm searching for a flight, I don't just go onto ba.com. I go into Skyscanner, I go into Google Flights, I use some other sites, Ocado, and I look for the cheapest flights. I check out different airlines and different dates. Usually I go for the cheapest. Yeah. And so what we're trying to do is what Dtravel is trying to do is build a network of direct properties or direct stays. And in the future, if we can get enough, if they can get enough properties onboarded, then you're going to get a situation where people go onto Airbnb and search for a destination, and then go onto Dtravel and see if they can book directly cheaper. Yeah. And then the only thing that crosses your mind, or maybe you ask, is, well, Airbnb gives you some kind of insurance or some kind of guarantee. Dtravel actually have created a partnership with Superhog. Superhog. So every booking is insured, and the insurance package is actually better than Airbnb. So you don't have to do this yourself. It's already inbuilt. It's already built into Dtravel. And so anytime someone books, they'll also be insured host for liability, and traveler in case of problems with Superhawk. Okay, and they also do there's also a guest screening that's included, and so actually you don't lose anything by booking directly. You have the same kind of assurance. Yeah, so that's basically it. If you look at the if I change that from London to just worldwide, so this this application went live back in, I think it was back in April. You can just search for the whole world, see that, and you can have a look and see what's. So we're still it's still light. Yeah, as you can see, it's still light. I shouldn't have done that. So there's a lot of room for growth. Yeah, and you can imagine a future where, look, this is Florida. Yeah, it's still quite light, but it's slowly populating. Yeah, and this is all organic growth. Huh? This is all organic growth. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be critical, but the marketing hasn't really kicked in. Yeah, so it's Ecuador, even Colombia. What is that? British Virgin Islands. Look at that. US Virgin Islands. And what the great thing is, these are all direct bookings. These are all direct stays. You're not going through Airbnb. Question: can the token be used for voting? Of course, that is actually part of here. If you look at the Dtravel governance, see that Dtravel DAO governance. So the token will be how proposals are ratified and implemented. It's going to be strategic. It's not going to be like day-to-day running. It's going to be strategic proposals. I don't know how it's going to be, but you see, it's all to do with giving ownership of this DAO to the token holders. And so effectively what you end up with is an application. This application in my mind is a forever application. You know, you've heard of forever chemicals. This is like a forever application. There's not going to be another application like this, I don't think. And in the future it's going to be decentralized and distributed. It'll just be on the blockchain. It'll just be self-functioning. Yeah. And so I find it very hard, because it's already taken 3 years to build. It's not straightforward. It's easy to build these kinds of applications, and then building the network is also a massive challenge. Once this network is fully populated and it's all decentralized, it's on the blockchain, this isn't going away. And the reason why it's not going away is because none of these properties, they own their own listings. Yeah, so these are all direct sites. These are all direct bookings. No one can shut them down. Like Dtravel's not shutting these down. There's no centralized entity making decisions about whether this business can operate or not, or how it operates. So travelers are doing their own transactions direct with these owners. It's kind of like Bitcoin, isn't it? And I imagine that this will just persist forever, and it will just keep on growing and growing and growing until eventually the world is populated with stays where property owners, they can. And the great thing is, and this is what people don't realize, unless you're in the business, you don't understand this. I have my site on Airbnb. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the same property. So I'm listed on Airbnb. I'm also listed on Dtravel. Yeah. Don't need, it's not like one or the other. I can be on both. I'm on booking.com as well. If I want to, I can be on VRBO. I can be on Google Vacation Rentals too. So it's not one or the other. It's like I can be on everything. But if someone wants to book directly, I'll send them to my site. And in the future, you could. I'm not saying short-term future. I'm talking quite a long-term future. You'll get into a situation where Dtravel becomes well-known enough that you're going to get like crypto nomads or digital nomads who will search on Airbnb, but they might actually have a look on Dtravel too and see if they can find the same property. They can reach out to the owner and they could book directly, and then that's going to be all through Dtravel. So, and I don't know if people are going to hold their tokens. I mean, you could obviously in a bull market, which is what we're all interested in. I don't imagine that no one is not going to take profit. You know, if you get massive increases in value, I imagine a lot of people will sell. But people like me will look to reaccumulate. You know, like we're higher time frame bullish. You know, we're not just because the price goes up and I sell in the future at the right time, whenever it is the right price, doesn't mean I'm never going to buy back in. It just means that, you know, that's crypto, isn't it? You wait for the pullbacks, you wait for that's what we're doing with technical analysis. We're trying to find the right time and place to buy and sell, and then you would sell. We have to see what happens because no one really knows. And if it does pump and we do get 5 waves on a and you sell higher increase the prices, then I'll be looking to buy back in the bear market, scale right back in. You get enough people do that, and then that's how you end up with bullish market structure on a higher time frame. Yeah. So let me just hide some of these. And so right now this is the weekly time frame. Let's go to the higher time frame, monthly time frame. Yeah. It's quite a bullish green candle, isn't it? Look at that volume, increase in volume, green candle. Look at that. Right back up there in the monthly time frame. Off the point of control. See that? See that point of control now is holding a support. Look, it kind of little fake out, held the support. That's the test. And we've held a higher low. It looks quite bullish to me. This is the higher time frame. So naturally, if the price does, if we do break and we go up somehow, somewhere between there, take your profit. You're looking to buy right back there, wouldn't you? In the bear market. Probably. That's probably, and then if you get enough people do that, then the price will just hold there and just kind of consolidate there until the next kind of bull market. You have a higher low and higher time frame. It'd be nice to make a new all-time high. The all-time high isn't this wick candle, it's actually $1.56. Yeah, it'd be nice to hit the all-time high. Then you're in kind of a higher time frame bullish market structure. Higher highs, then you're looking for a higher low in the bear market, in the next bear market in the future. And then if that holds, we can hold like a really nice level like 9 cents in the future. Then the next bull market, you'll be looking to take that right back up to higher prices. By then, whenever that is, 27, 28, whenever, you hold a nice level like 9 cents after you take out the all-time high in this bull market, then you'll be looking for really increased prices, $10, whatever. That's what you'll be looking for. And by then, hopefully the network, the Dtravel network, is going to be huge. Now, anything could change that. So I'll give you an example. Dtravel is always going to be growing. The network's all good, but that's independent of crypto. Yeah. So people coming onto Dtravel, putting their property on Dtravel, traveling on Dtravel, it's got nothing to do with crypto. So even whatever happens with crypto, people can always come and use the Dtravel network. That will bring value onto TRVL. All of that brings value because you're growing your network. Yeah, that could attract investors, big investors. Yeah, so we get to critical mass. I don't know what critical mass is, honestly. I have no idea at what size is going to actually interest big venture funds or big capital funds, capital investment funds. I have no idea. Yeah, but But if you get to critical mass where we're growing exponentially, you've got hundreds of properties coming on boarding every day, every week, every day, travelers just non-stop traveling, then that's going to attract big investors because they're going to see a growth curve and they're going to see the potential of this becoming a mammoth. And then when you look at comparables, you're looking at booking.com market cap. See, this is Booking. Although booking.com is hotels as well, it's $143 billion. Airbnb market cap. It's an ambition, isn't it? It's an aspiration. It's 84 billion. So if you start getting really good growth, exponential type growth, you can start attracting big investment. That will take the price up because that investment isn't just going to try and accumulate small amounts of TRVL over a long period. They're just going to come in and start buying. Yeah, just like when Bitcoin was bought up right in the early days. You know, the whales didn't wait to try and accumulate. They just started to market buy and they pushed the price up. And so that's what I'm expecting in the future, but we have to kind of reach some kind of tipping point. All right. And I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be in, I think this bull market will get, I think we're going to break 9 cents and we're going to go up. I don't know how high we're going to go up. I have no idea. Be good to count count waves. All right, that's Dtravel. I think it's I think it's a good idea for people to start accumulating. It looks bullish to me. But anyone watching this, even though, like I was saying to begin with, just because we're in bullish daily market structure right now, it doesn't mean we can't go, doesn't mean never, because the thing in crypto, anything can happen, right? Doesn't mean we can't take out this low. And people are going to be, oh my God, it's bearish, right? No, it's not bearish. It only becomes bearish if you take out that low, put in a lower high and go right back down to take out the lower low that you've just put in. That is what's required now to make this bearish. That looks bearish. That's like a head and shoulders pattern. That's really looking bearish. Yeah, if that was to happen. Okay. If that happens, okay, it's gone from bullish to bearish. But at the moment it's bullish. And it's very possible, it's always possible to go down, shake people out and go right back up. It's always possible. Yeah. That actually looks like a bullish harmonic to me if that was to happen. So that's not bearish, it's like an M, it's bullish. Yeah. And then even though the bullish market structure is higher high, higher low, higher high now, if you were to put a lower low here and then take out that high to put in a higher high, what happens here is that this low becomes your higher low, and you just, these pivots are actually ignored. These two pivots are ignored. And so actually what happens is that's your higher high, that's your higher low, and you have a new higher high. So it changes it a little bit, but it's still the same thing. So it's still bullish. It just means now this becomes your pivot as a higher low. And then for this to become bearish, if that was to happen, this would have to make a higher high. You have to again go all the way back down, take out that low, and it would have to change market structure, go back down again. Yeah. So it's quite dynamic how market structure can develop. Altcoin Dreamer, I like your confidence, but I can't say I'll be picking up any TRVL. I mean, I think it's worth having it in a portfolio. Yeah, I'm not saying you should be heavily invested like I am. And you know, I know you've probably not seen any of my videos about TRVL. I got big time hacked 2 months ago, so I've kind of trying to hide in the shadows a little bit. But let me just show you something which might change your mind a little bit, or make you interest you a little bit. Okay, I'm going to log in on another screen because I think that's how I got hacked. Because someone I was sharing too much information on on my stream, and I became a target. But I mean, it is what it is. Let me just log in here. Okay. So I've just logged in. I haven't logged in with MetaMask. I'm not using MetaMask on this anymore. I hope you can see that. Let me just go back here and see. Yeah, you can. So ever since I started with Dtravel, I've had 24 completed bookings, and I've had $42,391,000 in realized earnings through Dtravel. So my confidence is not based on an imagination of what could happen. I'm just basing it on what I've experienced personally. Yeah? See these reservations? Completed. See that? Completed. These are real world reservations. This is not, I didn't make this up. Yeah? Completed. See that? Completed. So you probably haven't seen that. I've shared it before, and this is my back end, right? And if you can imagine that this is impacting my business, because now I can offer direct, because I have people messaging me all the time on WhatsApp saying, we want to come back, can I book again? And I'm just an example of tens of thousands and thousands of hosts all the way around the world who would like to do the same thing. You know, the thing about Airbnb is that okay, question. I agree that the Dtravel platform sounds great for landlords, but just doubt the token can recover and don't see the point in it. Yeah. Well, it's a good question. You know, like I'm not like we all like I can agree with some aspects of what you're saying. It's an innovation, isn't it? It's an innovation, and it may or may not work. I think in the context of the bull market, it will work. It's just quite simply because the reality is, if you know about the bull market, higher prices are retail going crazy, retail going berserk. Yeah, we're going to get to higher prices. It's going to be because of retail. It's not going to be because of the smart money or because of me or you. We're not going to be market buying, pushing higher prices. Yeah, we're accumulating at lower prices on our tokens of choice. But the way retail psychology is, they look at the projects, and then it's all about hype. Yeah, and a project like this can be hyped at the right time. It can be hyped. Yeah, Airbnb killer. This is the next big thing, the next big Airbnb. So there's a lot of hype potential in this project, and also the other thing that I'm waiting for is a tier 1 listing as well. So TRVL are not on tier 1s. Yeah, these are all kind of tier whatevers, and we're waiting for a tier 1 listing. So the 3 tier 1s, what are they? They're OKX, Binance, and Coinbase. And what's happening is, if you look at the development, you'd have to go to their Telegram. They're building on Base. Yeah, I don't know where it is. They talk about it a lot. I mean, they have so many updates. Let's see if I can find it. Base support. Is there liquidity and base support for TRVL and SEX and DEX in the works? So what they did is, when Dtravel built this, it wasn't on chain, and then initially it wasn't on chain. It was only the on chain transactions that were on chain. The fiat transactions weren't on chain. What they did is they brought it all on chain on Matic, and now they've taken it from Matic and they've put it all on Base. And the reason, this is like a stepping stone to getting on Coinbase. It's like a path. It's like one of the ways of getting onto Coinbase. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get on Coinbase. So I mean, that in itself is valuable. Yeah. If it happens, I think that's really valuable. And for a lot of people, that will be exit liquidity. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because Coinbase will bring a shit ton of liquidity. So I'm quite optimistic that this is going to get onto a tier one exchange in this bull market. And that will take us to higher prices. So regardless of token utility, regardless of whether you see use in this token. But for the long term, I do see value in this because the value will be in the TRVL. Yeah. So as that's like, it's just a crypto way of doing things. It's like having shares in the company, isn't it? Having a token in a DAO. All right, enough TRVL talk. I think this is quite bullish though, just technically. But just as I was saying, just because we have a higher low here doesn't mean the price can't go down to shake people out, to go back up. And what I don't want to see, can always happen, so I don't want to say that it can't happen because anything can happen, is I don't want us to create bearish market structure after we take out that low. If we go down and say we come back to the point of control, it's always possible. It'd be a good place to pick it up. Then you really want to see the price to come and take out that higher. You want to see a V-shaped recovery. If you don't get that, then you're in danger of creating going back to bearish, and alternatively you might form some kind of equilibrium before hopefully it goes back up. So that will be still bullish. It's just that you've just put in a lower low, so it's still bullish. Like right now we're bullish until we change market structure back to bearish. Yeah. And so naturally what people should be looking to do is buy the higher low. That's what you do. You buy the higher low until it goes back to bearish, and not chase the pump. And the way to do that is to put limit orders and absorb any selling. And this could go sideways for as long as it needs to go. And obviously a lot of everything to do with crypto has got to do with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin drops to wherever, then yeah, that's going to have a massive impact on altcoins. By the way, you can aggregate the charts by putting Bybit, TRVL, USDT plus KuCoin. Oh, all on the same chart. Yeah. In the symbol search bar and then press enter. Let's try that. Oh, like that, huh? That's nice. I didn't know that. That plus didn't work, did it? Why not? Let's copy and paste it. Did that work? Shit, what am I done? That didn't work. Didn't work. No, whatever. /4 at the end. Let's try it. /4. It's no big deal. All right, I'll mess about with it later. I was thinking you get all of the charts onto the same chart. Oh, you've done it. Oh, in brackets. So that still didn't work. Divided by 4. Did that work? Oh, is that the spreader? So that's all of them together, right? That's what you're saying. That's nice. I like that. I like that. Doesn't have all the data, so it's just done it from KuCoin. Why is it done it from KuCoin? Is it because you put it in first? No, Bybit's first. Bybit plus KuCoin plus Gates plus MEX. If I take out KuCoin, divide it by 3. Yeah, it gives you the first part. So it's taking it with the chart with the least data. Shortest chart, yeah. Okay. And then if you do volume now, perfect. I love that. Thanks. Appreciate that. That's really smart. Point of control. We're at a high volume node here now. Look, see that? Right there, high volume node. So we're kind of sitting on top of a high volume support. And we've got the value area high at about 4.36. And then the rest is relatively low volume. So I think the price could go up really fast if and when volume comes in the future. And actually looking at the volume spread now, it's not as terrible as it looks, this descent, huh? It's not really increasing volume, is it? It's just kind of slightly increasing, but it's relatively flat. See that red candle, that red volume? You could say that's quite bearish, but actually the price went up. Thanks, I appreciate that. That's cool. I think I need to save that. How do I save it? Copy. Let me put it here instead of symbol. Amazing. Look. How cool is that? About everything with Marty. Smash that like button, buy the dip. Oh, I really appreciate that. I'm gonna tell people about what you just told me. So just in case anyone's trying to figure out what's going on, Altcoin Dreaming has taught me something new. If you do bracket and then the exchange colon and the symbol plus exchange colon symbol plus exchange colon symbol plus exchange colon symbol close bracket divided by the number of exchanges you're using, so in this case 4, you're going to get a spread of all 4 exchanges. So you don't need to, I don't need to flip between all of these charts. I can just look at one. That's amazing. And it will take the shortest one. So obviously KuCoin here is the shortest one. Now when I do volume profile, I can get the overall volume. So let me see the volume on the candles. 2.9 million, is that correct? 2.9 million, 28 million. Let me see that green candle. Let me see this one. Bybit. 17 million, yeah. it's aggregated all of the volume. So when I look at that now, I can see the total volume of that candle on these exchanges, which is 28 million. That's amazing. That's lovely. Oh, that's really helpful. Brian B, hello. But you can only watch on daily then, at least with an essential plan. I don't know. There's 3 daily. You can look at the. Can you look at the hourlies? Yeah. Why not? Let's just go back to daily. I could do that for all my charts actually, if I have the time. VWAP. Let's get the VWAP in. Oh, look at that. From the all-time low, look at this. From the all-time low, the anchored VWAP, and look, the price came perfectly to touch it at 4 cents. So we definitely need to flip that into support, don't we? Yeah, you need a paid version of TradingView to see below the daily time frame or mathematical charts. Yeah, I do pay. I have the I do pay. All right, so maybe not everyone can use that if they're not paying. So all right, that's really interesting. I'm going to mess about with that. Not now.